What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Power Play with CJ. I'm going to focus in on the first round series between the Washington Capitals and the Toronto Maple Leafs, as Toronto makes its second playoff appearance in the last 12 years, and the Washington Capitals, well, it's their year. Just ask anyone. Reasons of the Ovechkin administration. No, Ovechkin, relatively speaking, he had a nice year. 69 points in the season. Gotta use that joke any chance I can. But, you look at it, they went for beer at the deadline in terms of going all in for Shattenkirk, and he had 14 points in 19 games with the Capitals and fit like a round peg in a round hole. Their group on defense is phenomenal. Obviously including Shattenkirk in that mix. They've really done some excellent things, and they've got some guys that I think are going to really surprise you in the playoffs. There isn't an Erik Karlsson or a Brent Burns or a Drew Doughty on this blue line, but there are a lot of there are six really good defensemen that are going to skate every night. Obviously, we know Matt Niskanen's the real deal. John Carlson's phenomenal. I talked about Shattenkirk, and then you got Orlov, who's been really, really good. Nate Schmidt, who's been a nice depth guy. Carl Alsner, he's reliable. Does his thing, and then Brooks Orpik, who at 36, isn't getting any younger, but he still plays that rough and rowdy style. And again, he's not exactly going to light the world on fire, but you know what you're getting out of him. And that blue line is a big reason why the Caps been as successful as they've been. Obviously, another big reason is their forward group. Nick Backstrom should be an MVP candidate. He won't be, but he should be. Obviously, Ovi, because Netsov's really been, since coming over a couple of years ago, that second line center they've always been looking for. And he's really done some great things. TJ Oshie tied with Ovechkin for the team lead in goals. And then just going down the list, Justin Williams, we know what he does. Some of the younger guys, Burakovsky and Carl Alsner, have gotten looks. Brett Connolly had quietly a 15-goal season, a bit of a renaissance for a guy who, at 24 got written off as, being quite the bust for the Boston Bruins. And again, Lars Eller, they went for him last year in the offseason. They wanted him to be that third-line center. They've been lagging. They got him. He's fit in well. And again, there's just really a lot to be happy about with this unit in Washington. And then their goaltending in terms of Braden Holtby being one of the better goalies in the league, and then Philip Grubauer being one of the better backup goalies in the league. Holtby will be a Vezina finalist. He's one of the best goalies in the world, and has definitely done his damn thing to help backstop this Capitals team to the position they're in. All right, we've talked about Washington now. Toronto, it begins and ends with the kids. It's a youth movement up there. Austin Matthews, 69, nice. Again, that same shitty joke. I'm gonna make it every time. Points on the season. He should get some MVP votes as a rookie. I think he's gonna run away with the Calder. I mean, you don't score 40 goals in that market and have the impact on the team that he's had and not get the respect I think you're owed. And then you just kind of go all throughout this lineup. I mean, William Nylander has been phenomenal all year. Mitch Marner led all rookies in assists. And 61 points himself. These guys are talented. It's not just a one-man show. And then, a lot of the veteran forwards. I mean, Nazem Kadri had a 30-goal season. Not a lot of people saw that coming. JVR had 29 goals, which I believe is his career high. Tyler Bozak really settled in nicely as that second-line center. And then, going through some of the younger guys they've got. I mean, Tyler Bozak. Bleh. I had a deja vu all over again. Connor Brown, 20 goals. Who saw that from the former Erie Otter happening this season? Zach Hyman, I don't like his role with this team. I think he should be in a bottom six role, but that's neither here nor there. Again, these young forwards are phenomenal. Their D, kind of a no-name, piece it together D. Nick Zaitsev's been a nice addition coming over from the KHL. He's played a lot of tough minutes this season. Jay Gardner, again, another guy that really has stepped up this year from the Wisconsin Badger. And I don't care what it says, I like Morgan Riley. There, I said it. And then, you got Hanweg, Polak, and some other guys roaming around. This is a fun team. It's a fun, young hockey team. Unfortunately, they drew the shit end of the stick and will get bounced very easily by the Capitals. Again, and I'm not trying to pick on Toronto here. And not to oversee what Freddie Anderson's done in terms of providing stability in the crease, which they haven't had a whole lot of. What's it say, the Eagle Bell for? Way back when, or 10, 15 years ago. No disrespect to the Andrew Raycrofts and James Reimers and Jonathan Berniers of the world, but that's just the reality of it. I don't. They drew a tough matchup. That's just the reality of it. And you look at, they could surprise the Capitals. No, they couldn't. Let's be real here. I think Washington's going to win the first 2 games in D.C. Toronto's going to win Game 3 at home. The fans are going to be going nuts. Marner will have fucking 4 assists. Nylander will have 2 goals. Matthews will have, 2 goals, 2 assists, something like that. It's going to be, the youth moving on display, and then Washington's going to finish up 5. And before you call me a hater or a cynic, look at it this way, and I'm going to say the same thing with Edmonton when I do that piece. Crosby's first foray into the playoffs was against an Ottawa Senators team that was hungry for its first Stanley Cup final appearance. The cash line, they were starving, and a young Pittsburgh Penguins team, talented as they may be, were fresh meat for them. They fucking slapped them around for 5 games, went up, took the win, went to the Stanley Cup final, got assaulted by the Anaheim Ducks, but that's neither here nor there. And I think that's almost a perfectly identical situation as to what's happening with the Capitals and Leafs. The Caps are going to feast on Toronto's youngsters because it's a whole different game after Game 82. You look at regular season hockey in comparison to playoff hockey, and at times you wonder if you're watching the same sport. But much like Pittsburgh, what did Pittsburgh do the year after they got attacked by Ottawa? They went to the Stanley Cup final. Year later, 2009, they win the Cup. I'm not saying that's going to happen exactly like that with Toronto, but this learning experience and this taste of playoff action is going to be really good for Toronto's young team, and they're going to get a really good taste of what they're going to have to do to become champions and bring a Stanley Cup to Toronto for the first time in 5 decades. So again, do I think the Leafs are going to go down in 5? Yep. I don't think they're getting swept. They will win one exciting fucking game, and maybe a couple other games go to overtime or 1-goal games, like whatever. This is not their year. And I'm not. That wasn't even a pun on the Capitals, our year thing. But it's coming. Toronto's time is coming. So we'll see. Anyway, that's all I got in this episode of the Power Play with CJ. Stay tuned for episodes for the season and beyond. Later, guys.